Woo! Good morning, Man Hour Nation. Michael Buckeye here. Week 17 was a wild, fun ride. Let's just be honest, it was fun. We're going to talk about it. Are the Dallas Cowboys now the most dangerous team in the NFC playoffs? The Chiefs are locked in. The Eagles are crap at best. What? And the Ravens, are they Super Bowl or bust? But first. And now, Mike's thoughts. We have all seen it. We've all had a grand old time. We've all had the experience of talking about what happened with the Dallas Cowboys and Detroit Lions game. We have all gone back and forth, and we've all seen exactly what is going on there. But let me pop you up this picture here, guys. This picture had 3 players running at one referee, all to, I guess, report eligible, right? I have no idea why Penny Sewell is there, right? Number 58. Have no idea why he is there. He did not report eligible. He did not do this. He did not do that. Basically, what it come down to was they were trying to disguise what they were trying to do. Number 70 there, I think his name's Skipper, right? He's been reporting eligible all game long. Referee makes eye contact with number 70. Acknowledges that he is reporting eligible. Did not make any type of eye contact or thumbs up or thumbs down that Penny Sewell or Decker, number 68, were reporting eligible. There is no indication of that. The point of the matter is, why have 3 players run at a referee all to report eligible when only one guy was reporting eligible? Why? That's how things are missed. When your wife or somebody, right, throws 5 things at you and you only grasp one, it happens, right? It happens. So with that being said, I want all you people out there that are saying, oh, these NFL's rigged, the refs screwed them, yada, yada, yada. Let's go back to 3 plays before that. Let's go back to the previous drive. Adrian Hutchinson tripped the Dallas Cowboys left tackle. Tripped him. Flat out tripped him. They called tripping on the Dallas Cowboys. If that play was called proper, we wouldn't even be in the situation that we're in. Let's just be honest. We would not be there. It is what it is. So with that being said, cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation, rise up.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. While I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know, coming more to the sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches, won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live, all 3 speakers go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckeye here with the Man Hour. Turn over to manhourradio.com. Check out the blog section. Check out the merchandise check-in. Check out the form section all over there at manhourradio.com. We have pushed the publish button January 1st, 2024 at 8 a.m. I pushed the publish button, so everything is live over there. It is live, it is raw, and it is uncut over there at manhourradio.com. But it is Monday, January 1st, 2024. So we got to talk about the way or no way of the week. Is it a way or is it a no way? Do we agree or do we disagree with it? But we do got some people already jumping in the chat this fresh morning. Hope you guys are not Curtin from The Hangover. But we got my man XD Gamer. He says, Happy New Year, Hoffy and Buck. Happy New Year to you as well, XD Gamer. All you gotta do is win next week, man. Win, and you guys are in, XD Gamer. Get those Jacksonville Jaguars into the playoffs, baby. Because I don't want those Buffalo Bills in there. As a Chiefs fan, I don't want those Buffalo Bills in there. I don't want to play them. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. John Peoples is in the chat as well. He says the Detroit Lions, the scariest team of the NFL. We are going to talk about the scariest team of the NFL going into the playoffs, John, and it is not the Detroit Lions. I can tell you that right now. It is not the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are not the scariest team going into the NFL's playoffs this season. Not at all. No. John says, that is the decoy. The defense, the ref nodded. So, John, you referring to sending 3 people to talk to the referee as a decoy. You understand that you have to, announce it hey, number 70 is eligible. Number 68 is eligible. There's no hiding it. It doesn't matter. It has to be said. It has to be out there. But whatever. I get it. John, I may disagree on that comment, on the Lions comment. XT Gamer, spot on, man. Spot on. They're not dangerous. John says, not in pregame like Dan Campbell broke down the officials when they missed the call, period. John, let me ask you this. I throw a comment at you every day. I am throwing a comment at you every day. Boom, good morning. Boom, good morning. Good morning. Boom, good morning. Day after day after day. Week after week after week. Year after year after year, right? And then all of a sudden, I mix it up. I say, how are you? Good morning. And how is your day? All at the same time. What are you going to see? You're going to see good morning, and you're going to basically gloss over the other two. That is what happened in this play right here. That's what happened in this play. Number 70 was reporting eligible all game long. The referee simply glazed over 68 and 58 being there. Penny Sewell and Decker, right? Simply glazed over it. Whatever. Why are you guys here? Get out of here. Skipper, you were eligible. Got it. It happens. It happens. My man Ant is in the chat as always. Says, Happy New Year's, everyone. Happy New Year's to you as well, Ant. Hopefully you're not at work today, man. Hopefully you're in the comforts of your home, joining the nice snow showers that are happening. I assume you're from Baltimore, so hopefully it's snowing there. Why else does it need to be cold if it's not snowing? Let's just be honest. But it is what it is. And then John wants to drop the Happy New Year as well. Happy New Year to you, John. Hope you're having a grand old day. My guy. Jim is in the chat as well. He says, look at you all excited about the events of the past weekend. Man, I'm always excited. We got a chance to watch some great NFL games. The Dallas Cowboys won. The Kansas City Chiefs won. The Philadelphia Eagles lost. The Raiders lost. The Bengals lost. Of course, it's a great day. The Ravens whooped some ass. Man, it was a great week of football. I don't care who you were a fan of. Any game you got to tune in and watch was almost a damn near great game to watch, minus the Ravens game. That game could have been shut off after then Tyreek Hill dropped touchdown pass. Let's just be honest. My man John Cunningham is in the chat. He says the Lions will smash the Cowboys next game. The Lions controlled that whole game in Dallas. Lamb had over 80 yards of their offense on that broken play. I think the refs still had to bail out the referees. That's a fact. Well, John, I respect your fandom for the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions played a really good game. The Dallas Cowboys also played a really good game. It was probably one of the best Saturday games we have seen in a very, very long time. Usually Saturday games are kind of just like gloss over games, right? You put them in the background noise and while you're wrapping presents or vacuuming the floor, right? It is all background noise in the end. But this game, we were tuned in, right? It seemed like no team had really a fighter's chance, and we thought it was going to be a defensive slugfest, which it was, right? Both defenses really shut down the opposing team's offense, minus a couple big plays here on both sides of the ball. So with that being said, as a Detroit Lions fan, John, you do not need to be worrying about the number 2 seed in the Dallas Cowboys. You will not be playing them until the second round. Or sorry, it would be the third round, I guess, right? How do they even break down anymore? Like, I don't even know what to call rounds anymore. It would be the second round, I guess, right? With that being said, the Detroit Lions need to worry about the LA Rams. The LA Rams locked in their division, or locked in their playoff spot last night by beating the New York Football Giants, and the Rams are a team that I do not want to play in the playoffs. Scroll back up to the comments there, up at the top. John said the Lions are the most dangerous team in the playoffs. No, the Rams are a lot more dangerous than the Lions are. The Rams are a team I would not want to play. If I'm Dallas, if I'm the 49ers, if I'm the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I do not want to play the LA Rams right now. Now, if it were to happen today, it'd be the Lions versus Rams, 3 versus 6 seed, right? At Ford Field, I think the Lions would come out on top, but they were, man, that's got to be a scary, scary game. Whoever has the opportunity to play the Rams in the first round, don't be overlooking those Rams, right? Do not be overlooking those Rams. John over here on the YouTube channel says, Raiders wish they would have gotten rid of McDouche a couple weeks sooner. No, because we've seen what the Raiders could be, and we've seen what they can't be. And what they are against the Indianapolis Colts is who the Raiders have always been, a undisciplined football team. It is what it is, Ron. Ant says, how about them Ravens, baby? Man, we all need to put an Amber Alert out for my man, Arthur Brown. Arthur Brown is the most realist Dolphins fan that I know. He is the most level-headed, most like, hey, you know what? We got our asses kicked. But I would be a little bit worried for him today because after that Tyreek Hill drop, it literally looked like the wheels fell off the wagon. And I'm pulling for the Miami Dolphins in Week 18 versus the Buffalo Bills. I'm also pulling for the Jags and the Steelers because I don't want the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. Get their asses out of there. Sorry, Adam. I don't want to play your Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. If me as a Chiefs fan, right here, right now, if the playoffs were to start, Buffalo Bills would be the 6 seed. The Chiefs would be the 3 seed, right? I don't want to play y'all. I don't. Y'all came into Arrowhead and whooped our ass, what, 3 weeks ago, four weeks ago, whatever it was. Whooped our ass. I don't want any more of that smoke. Y'all keep that smoke over there in Buffalo, right? Buffalo. Dean James also says, go Bills. Listen, like the Bills Super Bowl, AFC East Championship, always on Week 18. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but if the Buffalo Bills do not beat the Miami Dolphins on Sunday, it's probably going to be a Sunday afternoon game. I didn't look at the schedule yet, but if they don't beat the Dolphins, they're out of the playoffs, right? Like they like at that point they need help. They need both the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Steelers both to lose, if I'm not mistaken, right? Guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but Buffalo Bills fans, you better be rooting for the Ravens to play their starters, and you all better be hoping for the Titans and Mr. Will Levis to flex on some people. Jim says the scariest team was eliminated from the playoffs. Brad Allen's crew won't be there. Yeah, about that. Terrible analogy, Buck. Jesus. I think I'm pretty good with analogies there, Jim. Don't you be dogging me with that amount in the analogies. XD Gamer says, I think the sneakiest team in the NFL playoffs is the Rams. XD Gamer, I think you're right. I think they are, we said it last week or 2 weeks ago that they are the dark horse to go to the Super Bowl. Actually, Ant brought it up, and like I conferred with him. I'm like, yeah, I think you're right, Ant. Yes, the Rams are a very, 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 very good team. Ant says, sadly, I'm at work, and yeah, I'm from Baltimore, and I live here. It's supposed to be slow later on this week. I think he meant snow later on this week. I come from southern Indiana and work in Kentucky. I want about 2 feet of snow. Because anytime it rains or thinks about snowing here, this state shuts down. Man, think about if we actually got like 2 feet of snow here in Kentucky. People be like, man, what is going on? Caroline Jackson, I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name. Sorry about that. But she says, Broncos are out. I'm hoping the Ravens make it all the way when it gets time to the playoffs. She says, basically, Caroline, let me paraphrase of what you said here. My Broncos got eliminated when the Chiefs won the division. F those Chiefs. F those Bills. F those Dolphins. Let's go Ravens. Let's go Ravens. But she said my Broncos did win with Jarrett Stidham. Your Broncos also did beat a Chargers team that was playing nothing but practice squad players too. So it is what it is. John says a good game. How many points do they average at home this year? Who are you talking to? Are you talking about the Lions or the Cowboys? The Cowboys were averaging like 40 plus points at home, and the Lions were probably up to 30, right? But it is what it is. Got a lot of comments, guys. I'll absolutely love it, guys. Keep those comments coming in. This is a live interactive show. We will try to address every comment that comes through here, but we're going to get into the meat and bones of today's show here. Let me look up this comment here. It says, Browns are the most dangerous team. Then the Lions. IMO. The Browns are a dangerous team. We are going to talk about the most dangerous team in the playoffs coming up here. That's the third topic of the day. KC's seen them lose up in Arrowhead. XT Gamer says, Buck, my hope next week is that Trevor doesn't play next week and CJ plays that week 18 game. I guess you want to... XT Gamer, you're kind of on a double-edged sword there, right? Obviously, you would love Trevor Lawrence to be 100% going into the playoffs, right? You want your guy to be 100% going into the playoffs because the Jaguars would be going in as a 4th seed. They would be playing, the Browns, right? Obviously, you want your guy to be 100%. But on the other side of the coin, on the double-edged side of the sword, if you don't win that game, you don't get into the playoffs. So, yes, I understand the Jaguars did win last weekend with CJ. I understand the Jacksonville Jaguars did beat a Panthers team that is, let's just be honest, not very good. But the Titans division game comes down to it. Will Levis and the Titans have a little bit something cooking there. I think the Titans and and Will Levis and Hopkins and King Henry have a little bit something to prove. And what else would it be nice is to knock the Jaguars, add to those playoffs. Last season, it came down to week 18. This year is going to come down to week 18 again. So, XT Gamer, be careful what you wish for, right? Because you guys might need Trevor Lawrence to beat the Titans. The Titans are not a terrible team. They're just on a terrible little skid right now. I've seen a lot of people bashing Tua, but he didn't play that bad. He was getting his offense down the field in the first half, but in the second half, Mike McDonald made some adjustments. Listen, that first quarter, I was like, wow, this is going to be a freaking shootout, like 50-60, right? Back in the KC Rams, was it 2018, I think it was? Wasn't that the year that the Rams won the Super Bowl? Yeah, like it was back and forth, right? It was like 58-57. I was like, okay, I'm ready for this. I had my queso, I had my beer, my kids were out playing something outside, on the trampoline. I was like, man, I get to watch this game. It's going to be enjoyable. But yeah, those adjustments, hell, those in-game adjustments in the second quarter alone, I was like, oh. And then that interception by Patrick Queen, the man stuck out his mitten, and it just stuck there. I was like, what just happened? The Ravens are dangerous, guys. The Ravens are dangerous. Caroline says, hey now, a win's a win. Just win, baby. And Jim says Baltimore is horrible. And I don't mean the Ravens. I would rather be on any streets in Philly during a zombie apocalypse than anywhere in Baltimore on a Sunday morning. Alex Hernandez is in the chat. He says, LMAO, Commanders almost had it. You're a joke, bro, but I'm laughing. Listen, the Commanders did almost beat the 49ers. Brock Purdy made one hell of a play. Like he was scrambling to the left. The line broke down. He's like, oh, crap. Rolled back over to his right, and he hit a wide open Brandon. I like Ayuk. Was it Brandon Ayuk? I'm pretty sure it was Brandon Ayuk. Wide open. That was probably the backbreaker, right? But the fact that you guys couldn't dominate the Commanders the way the 49ers have been dominating the rest of the NFC least, I don't know. It is what it is. Jameson is in the chat. My man says Titans are trash. Titans are not very good record-wise. Titans are probably should be moving on from Mike Vrabel by the end of the season, which they probably won't, you know. They my man's Titans and the Truth, Chris, is it their GM or the owner? It's some girl. Like he always says, the Titans general manager always thinks with their heart and not her head. So Mike Vrabel won't be out, but the Titans are not very good on the records this season. But they're still a very grungy team. Like, don't sleep on the Titans versus the Jaguars, unfortunately. Cowboys, my ass. The refs chaved them. They got blown out round 2. If not, my Niners will send them home again. And that's a perfect segue, guys. That is a perfect segue into the first way or no way of the day. As you guys know by now, the Dallas Cowboys did beat, that's right, they did beat the Detroit Lions on Saturday night, 21-19. Whether you want to admit it or not, but the record shows that the Dallas Cowboys won that game. The Dallas Cowboys are now sitting at number 2 seed in the NFC playoffs, just behind the 49ers sitting at number 1. The 49ers did lock in the number 1 seed this weekend with the Philly loss and their win over the Commanders. So the highest the Cowboys can go is number 2 seed. But with that being said, guys, way or no way, are the Dallas Cowboys the most dangerous team in the NFC playoffs? Guys, the Dallas Cowboys this season are 8-0 at home. They are undefeated at home. They have won 16 straight home games. 16 straight. Wrap your head around that. 16 straight home games. They also averaged 40-plus points in their home games this season. The defense plays lights out. The offense plays pretty damn good. And Dak Prescott plays at an MVP level. The Dallas Cowboys are a very, very dangerous home team. So with that being said, when we look at the Dallas Cowboys, they do control their own destiny. Meaning, if they win versus the Commanders on Sunday, they are the number 2 seed in NFC East champions once again. The mighty have fallen. Philadelphia Eagles. We'll be talking about them. But guys, the Dallas Cowboys are a team that you do not want to play in the playoffs. This is a way. I do agree. I think the Dallas Cowboys are the most dangerous team in the NFC playoffs right now. I don't care about your 49ers, about their home field advantage. I don't care about the Philadelphia Eagles just sneaking into the playoffs. I don't care about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers or your Detroit Lions. Look at the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are the most dangerous team in the NFC playoffs right now. If they were to start right now, if the playoffs were to start, let's skip week 18. They were to start right now. They're playing the Green Bay Packers. They're playing the Green Bay Packers, right? They can beat the Green Bay Packers. They can. Now, in theory, if everything lines out in the second round, they're playing the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are coming down to AT&T Stadium, Jerry's World, to play the Dallas Cowboys for that round 2 game again, right? Line it up and roll it again. PlayStation terms, right? Run it back. They can run it back all they want, but the Dallas Cowboys are going to be ready. Don't you guys remember what I said last Tuesday, last Wednesday? The Dallas Cowboys are playing with house money right now. They could give two shits less about that Detroit Lions game. And it showed. They had a very vanilla offense. They had a very vanilla defense, right? They were trying some new things of how to stop the run. Micah Parsons at nose guard. Micah Parsons at outside linebacker. They were trying different things. Did they find something that works? Probably not. Going to have to tinker it a little bit more against the Commanders, but right now they're playing with house money, and that game didn't matter nothing to the Dallas Cowboys. When the Detroit Lions come into AT&T Stadium for the round 2 for the divisional round versus the Dallas Cowboys are going to put it on them again, right? Then we look like, oh, well, the 49ers, their home field advantage. Yeah, right? Let's say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do win the division, right? And they beat the number 5 seed, which would be the Eagles right now? I think it's the Eagles, right? Sitting at 5 seed. Does that happen? Probably not. The Philadelphia Eagles are a really, really good team. They're kind of trying to figure themselves out. Yes, I know they had the worst defense in the last 8 weeks, right? 30, 31, and 32 in all major categories. We get it. But do you really think that the 49ers can hold their own versus the Philadelphia Eagles? Possibly. It's going to be a battle. And then it comes down to the Cowboys taking on the 49ers. Right? Yes, I believe Jameson said it best right here. The Dallas Cowboys are a trash team on the road. Okay. But at that particular point, you're playing the NFC Championship game. Dallas Cowboys versus San Francisco 49ers. 1990s call, they want their script back, right? Early 2000s, whatever it was. The Dallas Cowboys will be a totally different team going into that point. And we all know that the San Francisco 49ers shit the bed in the championship games. Philadelphia Eagles shit the bed last season. Couple years before that, shit the bed again versus the Rams, right? When they do make it to the Super Bowl, they get a 28-10 lead over the Kansas City Chiefs, and they shit the bed. They're like, hey, let's change everything up. We're going to shit the bed. The fact of the matter is, guys, the Dallas Cowboys are the most dangerous team in the NFC playoffs right now. If they get that number 2 seed, or let me rephrase that. When they get that number 2 seed, this is the team you do not want to play. When they play the Green Bay Packers, round 1, if it were to start today, Packers are going to be like, oh shit, what happened? I'd rather be at home, sit on the couch. Vikings, you can go handle that. Seahawks, maybe you guys can handle that. Detroit Lions, another NFC North team. Come on down. Bring them on down. We'll whoop their ass too. Dallas Cowboys, most dangerous team, guys. Let me know. What do you guys think? And in the comments, are the Dallas Cowboys the most dangerous team in the NFC playoffs this season? Caroline says the best year Cowboys had, and really, that's being nice. Listen, the Dallas Cowboys have had great regular seasons the last, 4 or 5 seasons, right? They've been battling for the East Championship. They've made it to the playoffs. It's just, let's just be honest, that the Dallas Cowboys seem to falter a little bit in the playoffs. They want to put Zeke Elliott at center versus San Francisco 49ers for the last play of the game. They lacked football IQ. Honestly, we all probably lacked football IQ before that play a couple years ago when we didn't realize that the referee had to touch the ball or to spot the ball before a play could be ran, right? Dallas Cowboys football IQ is higher. Kellen Moore is gone. Greatest thing that could happen in Dallas Cowboys history, Kellen Moore being shit out of town. Chargers, you take him. Sorry, David. Your boy is just not that good. But yeah, the Dallas Cowboys have had a great season. Jim says the only good thing about the Cowboys is the head coach is from Pennsylvania. Just like Kentucky's basketball coach, which means I must be right about everything I say too. The way people across America buy into everything these two guys say. First of all, let's talk about Kentucky basketball. Right here, Kentucky basketball. Coach Calipari is one of the worst head coaches of all time. He is a great recruiter. He is a great of promising people the world and delivering them the world, right? But he is a terrible basketball coach. Mike McCarty is a really good coach, I think. I think the Green Bay Packers and choosing him over Aaron Rodgers wasn't a mistake, but it was like, could they not coexist? Like, Mike McCarty is a good coach. Jameis said the Lions had them beat if they take the points. Let's talk about that game, Jameson. Detroit Lions fans in general, right? Let's talk about this. I understand that Dan Campbell has been a risk taker all season long. Flashback to week 1. They were, inside the 30. It was 4th and 20. The Kansas City Chiefs defense was showing out, and they call a fake punt in that game. They ultimately get the first down. It literally changed the whole outcome of that game. Go back to the Cowboys game. Same thing again. 4th and 18, fake punt. Really changed the trajectory of that game. The Detroit Lions were on the teeter of starting to get blown out a little bit. But as a Detroit Lions fan, let's take the, quote, bad call out of it. You don't make a 2-point conversion the first time. You don't make a 2-point conversion the second time because Mike Parsons was offsides. At that point, you're like, man, my defense has been playing pretty good. Let's kick the extra point. There's only 20 seconds left in the game. Dallas Cowboys only have 2 timeouts left. Do we see what happens and go into overtime? Because the algorithms and the projections and the momentum is all in Detroit Lions' favor at that point. If I'm not mistaken, 70% of the time, the team to score the final point to force an overtime wins that overtime game. Because the other team is dejected. Like, man, we had this game won. They kicked the last second field goal. We're going, man, Dan Campbell made a mistake. That's what it comes down to. Caroline says Dak is the best he's been since the first few years or however long he's been playing for them. Like, Dak is playing at a very good level right now. Now, it's not the MVP level that Lamar Jackson's at. Lamar Jackson is saying, hold my beer, hold my shoes, get me a cat. I am winning this MVP. Lamar Jackson is on a level right now that cannot be touched, but Dak is playing very, very good football. It also helps that CeeDee Lamb is playing some damn good football as well. And it helps that they do have one of the best defenses in the NFL as well. The Eagles are dog shit trash. Oh, man. We going to shit the bed. I'm not sure what you're referring to, the Ant. Jameson says the Cowboys is totally one-dimensional, way too reliant on CeeDee Lamb, says Jameson. When we look at the Dallas Cowboys offense, CeeDee Lamb has, 1,200 more yards than every other receiver on the Dallas Cowboys roster. But with that being said, watch the games. Teams are still double-teaming CeeDee Lamb. They got a high safety, a low corner right, playing the bracket, and CeeDee Lamb is still getting open. He's still running crisp routes. He's still finding the weak spot in the zone. And to be one-dimensional, I think you're spot on. Especially versus the Detroit Lions. Tony Pollard cannot run the ball at all. It seemed like every time they try to run the ball, Tony Pollard would get the ball like 6 yards back there, and you'd see a wall of Hawaiian blue right there ready to make a tackle. I don't understand it. Like, they were legitimately just, the Detroit Lions runs defense was spot on. That was some of the best run defense I've ever seen. I think at one point Tony Pollard had like 5 carries for 12 yards. It was bad. It was a bad showing. But maybe they can figure it out. Maybe they can figure out how to run the game. Caroline says they choke every time, like this year they can't. I don't think the Cowboys are going to choke this. I mean, let me ask you this question. In general, Caroline, you can answer this, or people in the chat can answer this as well. When you say the Dallas Cowboys choke like usual, what do you mean by that? Let's look at the last 3 years' playoffs. 2 of those 3 years, they won their first round playoff game. They ended Tom Brady's career, right? Now, they've run into the 49ers the last, 3 years or 2 years, right? The 49ers have been the Achilles heel for the Dallas Cowboys when they play them. But 2 of the last 3 years, the Dallas Cowboys have won a playoff game. How many other teams can say that? I mean, obviously the 49ers can say that, right? Because I think they've won. Have they gone to the championship 3 years in a row? I'm not for sure, but the Chiefs can say that, right? Who else can? I think that's about it. Meaning the Dallas Cowboys are up there with great teams like the 49ers, like the Chiefs. Had the Buffalo, no, I can't even say the Buffalo Bills have won like the last 3 years every game. Like, the Dallas Cowboys are winning playoff games. So I'm not for sure what you mean by they choke. Jameson says there's really no threat to San Francisco in the NFC when they are healthy. Very, very key word there, Jameson, is when they are healthy. Because if the 49ers lose an offensive lineman, if they lose a receiver, if CMC misses a series, if Brock Purdy goes down, right? Any one of those people, the 49ers are just a really, really bad team. We saw it against the Ravens. Now, the Ravens are a very, very good team. Do not get this twisted. Do not take these words out of my mouth and twist them. The Ravens are a very, very good team. But we've seen it. Trent Williams got hurt that game versus the Ravens. Brock Purdy was injured, a.k.a. benched, right? One of those guys went down. The 49ers are a totally different team. At this point of the season, it's war of attrition of who can be healthiest, right? And right now, look at the Cowboys. Ant says, woo, big comment there. He says, Cowboys ain't an accident. The Cowboys are an accident waiting to happen, says Ant. With that being said, the most dangerous team is the 49ers. The second most dangerous team would be the Rams. What other QB would you all rather have besides Stafford in the playoffs? You could use argue Hurts, but Stafford is only the one who has won a Super Bowl. If we're looking at quarterbacks strictly in the NFC, Matthew Stafford is probably the quarterback that I would want, right? That has been there, done that, right? Whatever. But I feel this year is who is the most hungriest. Who wants to get there and really give it to the man, right? And Jared Goff is probably the quarterback that I would want, to be honest. If I'm a 49ers fan, if I'm a Cowboys fan, if I'm a Buccaneers fan, Packers, whoever, I would want Jared Goff. Jared Goff wants to play the Rams in the first round. Jared Goff wants to whoop that ass. Jared Goff wants to go back down to Dallas and blow out the Dallas Cowboys. Then Jared Goff wants to go to Santa Clara and whoop that ass of the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I love Matthew Stafford's experience. I love his charisma. I love his it factor, right? But right now, give me Jared Goff. Give me some Jared Goff, man. Mike McCarty called a quarterback sneak with 15 seconds left with no timeouts. If you're referring to the Dallas Cowboys game a couple years ago versus the San Francisco 49ers, Kellen Moore was the play caller at that particular point. Mike McCarty did not call that play. Pollard sucks. They miss Elliott. Pollard does not suck. He just does not have that companion, right? Deuce Vaughn is not that companion that Zeke was, or Williams, right? Not the companion that Zeke was. I agree with you. They're missing then some Zeke Elliott, or just a solid number 2 running back in general, a guy that can take off some of the load. This is also Pollard's first year of being the guy, and he just has not lived up to the guy, right? Which sucks for him because he was due for a big contract, right? Ant says they definitely miss Elliott, especially on the goal line. Yeah, Elliott's big-ass body. Get that man in the end zone, 100%. Caroline says like they need to not get beat out when they're saying what I'm saying or get eliminated. I'm not quite following. Like, they need to not get beat out is what I'm saying. So basically, the Dallas Cowboys need to win the Super Bowl. Of course, all teams need to win the Super Bowl, especially my Chiefs. And says, and do not get me started on how on the Kansas City Chiefs because I got salty with my cousin last night when he came to the Chiefs. LOL. I'm not happy with the Chiefs winning the division. As a Broncos fan, maybe off topic. That is not off topic because that is exactly what is up next. And that is the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs finally locked in the AFC West after a dismal, is that even a word? A terrible December. Only one win in the month of December for the first time in forever. 3-game home losing streak, first time in forever. But the Kansas City Chiefs finally beat the Cincinnati Bengals at home and locked in the AFC West, ultimately eliminating the Raiders and the Broncos from playoff competition. With that being said, there's a team out there that I think is one of the most dangerous teams in the AFC playoff picture, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. When we talk about being healthy, the Baltimore Ravens, they've been healthy all season long, and they are playing some excellent football right now. So, guys, way or no way, are the Kansas City Chiefs the only team that can compete with the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC playoffs? Playoffs? Yeah, playoffs. Way or no way? When we look at the Kansas City Chiefs, their defense is top-notch. Their defense has been playing pretty damn good all season long. Now, as a Chiefs fan, that first quarter, the second quarter, when they were running down our throats and we cannot stop them on third down at all, and I think the Bengals had 3 drives with 7 minutes, 7+ minutes. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Do something. Second half, they figured it out. When you look at the Baltimore Ravens, this is a team that right now that I think cannot be beat. The Baltimore Ravens are a team, they have 3 losses on the season, right? The first one was versus the Indianapolis Colts. That was a total lackluster, no football IQ type of game, right? If you flash back to that game, the Colts punted the ball with 6 seconds to go till the 2-minute warning. The Ravens were up by, 2 or 3? All they basically had to do was run the clock out, and they give the ball back to the Colts before the 2-minute warning. But they lost that game. Cleveland Browns game. Deshaun Watson played out of his mind. I think that was Deshaun Watson's last game, but he played out of his freaking mind. And then their last loss, it was just an all-around bad game. Just a very, very bad game. I think it was to the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Can't remember who the third loss was. It was just a bad game. So basically what I'm saying is the only team that can beat the Baltimore Ravens are the Baltimore Ravens themselves. They can only lose if they beat themselves. But there's a team out there in the Kansas City Chiefs that can give them hell. There's a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, when they click on all cylinders, when they put that V8 with some tuning oil in it and tune it up just a touch, put some stick 'em on the old gloves, the Kansas City Chiefs can and will beat the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Ravens defense is, right? Wow. But the Kansas City's defense is no slouch either. The good thing about the Kansas City Chiefs this year, guys, is they have been lackluster at best all season long. They have been a team that has been underperforming all season long. We don't know who their wide receiver is. We don't know who their number one threat is. We don't know how good Patrick Mahomes really is. Is he in a slump, or has he just been playing out of his mind the last six years? The simple fact of the matter is the Kansas City Chiefs are the only team that can really compete with the Baltimore Ravens in this year's playoffs. That is a way. That is a way, guys. Let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? Can the Kansas City Chiefs compete with the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs? Way or no way? Jim says no way. Chiefs D, they have been handed its ass a lot. The Kansas City Chiefs defense is playing lights out. Lights out. Are you referring to the Raiders game when technically the Kansas City Chiefs defense only gave up 6 points to the Raiders? Come on, man. Take your fandom out of it. I've had to take mine out of it. Take the ego out of it. But the Chiefs defense is pretty good. Ant says, actually, bro, we haven't been healthy. You are right. I saw last night we had 15 new starters and the linebacker got hurt. It was just crazy, right? But we're missing Dobbins, Andrews, our return man, Dunave, Keaton Mitchell, and our starting left tackle has been playing with the knee brace all year long. Yet we still waxed that Dolphins' ass and bullied San Francisco. So I see your injury list, Ant, there. But let's just be honest. Mark Andrews has been out since, week 5, right? Week 6. So you've had time to adjust to him. Isaiah Likely, where did that guy come from? Coastal Carolina or something? Definitely picking up the space for Mark Andrews, right? Keaton Mitchell went down 2 weeks ago. That is tough. Because you had a nice 1-2 punch going him with him and Gus Edwards. That was nice. That was unstoppable. J.K. Dobbins. He went out, week 2 again? Week 3? So that's kind of a different story, right? Starting left tackle. Is that Stanley? Is that Stanley that the starting left tackle? A lot of people play with knee braces on the offensive line. Now, I don't know the extent of his injury whatsoever. Don't get that twisted. I'm going to be honest. I don't even know his name. I'm looking it up right now. Left tackle is, Stanley. He has been, I do remember them talking about how they've been rotating the offensive line, right? They've been trying to keep everybody fresh and everybody healthy. That could be a blessing in disguise. All of a sudden, you have the beast offensive line healthy, or sorry, not healthy, but fresh going into the playoffs. I would be more worried about the defensive side of the ball, injuries. I gotta know this as a fact. I don't follow the Ravens as nearly close as I could, but I feel like the linebacking core is kind of thin because beyond guy you got from the Packers, the Bears, the Smith, Clowney, and Queen. Who do you guys have beyond that, right? And Humphreys is out too, right? If I'm not mistaken. So that's probably a bigger loss than anything. And then Ant says the Chiefs don't want to see the Ravens. Those receivers will wet the bed. We will see. Jim says, no way. Bills have a better shot at the Ravens. Jim, I would give you that if the Buffalo Bills were making the playoffs, but the Buffalo Bills are not making the playoffs. They're not going to beat a pissed-off Miami Dolphins team. The Jacksonville Jaguars are not going to lose. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to lose to backup players in the Baltimore Ravens. It's just not going to happen. But if the Buffalo Bills do make the playoffs, they're a one and done. Chiefs are going to beat that ass. Beat that ass. No way. Have I said that enough? No way. No way. No, you have not, Jim. One more time, please. Jameson says, no way. The Bills and Browns are the only threat to the Ravens. I keep forgetting that the Browns are in the playoffs. I keep forgetting that the Browns have locked in the playoffs. I keep forgetting that the Browns do have one of the best defenses at home. When they're on the road, they're one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So if somehow, some way, the Browns can figure out that Baltimore, Maryland is a home game for them and their defense shows up, I can give you that. I could give you that, hey, maybe Joe Flacco wants to go beat his old team one time for the old skipper, right? But guess what? Baltimore Ravens are not going to let Joe Flacco beat them. The Baltimore Ravens offense is going to be no match for the Cleveland Browns defense. The Ravens right now are up here, and here's everybody else. Everybody else is playing catch-up. Caroline says they can, but I think the Ravens win them out. The Chiefs, but the Chiefs' offense needs to get better, and I mean the Chiefs are good, but not as good as last season. You are correct. Let me talk about this. I am getting tired of everybody trying to compare the 2018 Kansas City Chiefs to the 2023 Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, their offense was amazing the last 3, 4, 5 years, right? Freaking amazing. When you say the Kansas City Chiefs need to score 25 points to win the game, like, Chiefs offense, hell yeah. Well, guess what? This year's a different year. This year is a different year. We don't have Juju. We don't have Tyreek Hill. We don't have Josh Gordon. What we have is Rashid Rice that is finally starting to catch the damn ball. We have MVS that needs to go back to Green Bay. We have Sky Moore that I was excited about in the draft. My man, Isaac Hatfield was talking Sky Moore up. Sky Moore scored six tutties against you guys like Hatfield. Like, I was excited about Sky Moore. He's kind of been a bust. The only bright spot on the offense this year for the Kansas City Chiefs has been Isaiah Pacheco. When he can keep his helmet on, he's a damn good running back. I'm glad he tightened it up a little bit this week, because if he gets knocked out because his helmet falls off 2 plays in a row for a concussion, I'll be one pissed off mofo. But the Kansas City Chiefs are a different team this year. They are a nickel and dime you down the field, winning on defense type of team. If the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens play in it would have to be the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs need to take a play out of the Cincinnati Bengals playbook. 9-minute drive, 8-minute drive, 7-minute drive. Keep that Ravens offense off the field. Best way to beat Lamar Jackson on this season is to sit his ass on the bench. Let that man get like four or five possessions in the whole game. Not in a quarter, not in a half, the whole game. Keep his ass off the field. That's what you need to do. Said, or the Broncos or the Bills or a few others, and the middle of the D is suspect. Jones, Gay don't work well together. That blow up didn't come from one game. That was feelings in the building. You are exactly right. That offensive blow up, it was on the feelings, right? Somebody's wife was sleeping with somebody else. That's what happened. The Chiefs' defense is fine. Slow it down, baby. Playoff Chris Jones is here. We've seen that. O-line is the most important spot on the field. You are correct. You are correct. Because I think we talked about this back in June, right? A Great offensive line will make a mediocre quarterback look damn good. When you have 7 seconds to throw the damn ball, you're going to be damn good. Miami is fake and the Steelers are suspect. Very, very true. Caroline says the Browns is the most shocking team, and I think that is locked in the playoffs. The Browns are definitely the most shocking team. They're on their 4th quarterback this season. They don't have Nick Chubb. They traded Peoples-Jones in Halloween, right? We thought they were kind of done once Deshaun Watson packed it up and DTR got benched down to the practice squad. They're done. Kevin Stefanski's like, hey, I finally get my guy. We don't like Deshaun Watson. Give me an old man. Bring in Joe Flacco. Yeah, the Browns are a very, very good team, very, very dangerous team. Unfortunately, they might, if they do play the Kansas City Chiefs in the first round, they can probably win that game. Probably will win that game if they play the Chiefs. But they're not going to get past the Ravens. They're not going to get past the Miami Dolphins. Who would be the second seed? Or the Buffalo Bills, right? They're not going to get deep. They can win one game, but that's about it. It will be the Browns versus the Ravens in the AFC Championship. Have any of y'all seen the meme with The Rock versus John Cena? That shit was hilarious. I have not seen that meme. Send it to me, Ant, and I will definitely like a good chuckle, and I'll share that with the people. But I don't think it can be a Browns versus Ravens championship game. Because in theory, there's no bracket, right? It's like it is always the highest seed plays the lowest seed, right? So as of right now, I think the Browns are sitting at a 6th seed, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 5th seed. Let's say they're the 5th seed. I don't have it right in front of me. Let's say they're the 5th seed. So they're going to be playing the 4th seed in the Jacksonville Jaguars, Indianapolis Colts, Houston Texans. One of those teams. Below them, you will have a team like the Steelers or the Colts or the Texans, the Buffalo Bills. One of those teams, right? I don't think any of those teams get a first-round playoff win. Therefore, the Browns will be playing the Ravens in the second round. So it would be a divisional matchup, I think, if that were to happen. Ant says, you're absolutely right, man. That's how we win a lot of our games, by controlling the time of possession. We can also rack up them points, though, too. Listen, as a Chiefs fan, I was pissed off last night. When the when the Cincinnati Bengals kept getting third down conversions, and I was like, and then all of a sudden it's the second quarter, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, legit, what is going on? Like, it was very, very frustrating. Caroline says, I thought the Browns should just be happy as far as they got into the playoffs, whether it's one game and out or second round or not. I think you're right. I think the Browns are a very happy team right now. Kevin Stefanski will get Coach of the Year. Deshaun Watson's job in Cleveland is on notice. Browns are kicking themselves now for letting go of Baker Mayfield. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Jim says you should be pissed off because you're a Chiefs fan. Oh, man. The next way or no way, guys. Moving on. The next way or no way of the day, we got to talk about those Philadelphia Eagles. We got to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles basically forgetting that they had to play against the Arizona Cardinals. We are going to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles and how they have been the most overrated team all season long. We are going to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, how have I been spot on about them all season long. But guys, way or no way, are the Philadelphia Eagles a one and done in the 2024 NFC playoffs? When we look at the Philadelphia Eagles, we have said it time after time after time again. This season, they are lacking the killer instinct. They are lacking really, right? Look at all their games this season versus the Dallas Cowboys. First game of the season, or their first time that they played. They let the Cowboys hang around. The Eagles jumped out to an early lead, but they could not close the deal. They could not seal the deal. First game of the season, traveling to New England. Let me take words from Hoffy, if the field was 2 inches wider, the Patriots would have won that game. The Commanders battled them. Rams battled them. Lost to the Jets. Right? That was the first time ever I think they lost to the Jets. Then they battled the Cowboys again, battled the Commanders, battled the Chiefs, battled the Bills, get beat down the 49ers, Cowboys, Seahawks, right? Battled the Giants. If Tyrod Taylor makes that pass, the Giants win that game. Excuse me. But the Eagles are definitely a one and done. This is 100% way. The Eagles are a one and done in the playoffs. I don't care who they play. I don't care if they play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't care if they play the Detroit Lions. I don't care if they play the Dallas Cowboys. I don't care somehow, some way they get the second seed and they play the Green Bay Packers. The Philadelphia Eagles are a team that is a shell of their last year's self. Now, we understand that they got a brand new defensive coordinator. We understand they have 5 brand new defensive starters. We understand they have a new offensive coordinator / play caller in Ben Johnson or Brian Johnson. We understand that. But at what point in the season do you stop using that excuse? Excuse me. At what point do you be like, man, this is who we are? The Philadelphia Eagles are the most overrated, overhyped 11-5 team in the NFL. They were the most overrated and overhyped 10-1 team in the NFL. They were the most overrated and overhyped 6-0 team in the NFL. The Philadelphia Eagles, guys, are not that good this season. Yes, they still have Jalen Hurts. Yes, they still have Devontae Smith. Yes, they still have A.J. Brown. The simple fact of the matter is their offensive play calling sucks. Their defensive play calling sucks. Their defensive interior is not very good. I thought it was going to be the best front seven in all of football. Shaq Leonard, you should have came over to the Cowboys now, right? But it all starts with the head man. It all starts with the head coach. Philadelphia loved the man because he was arrogant. He was cocky. He had a no-nonsense attitude. Where has that been all season, my man? Guys, the Philadelphia Eagles are a one and done in the playoffs. Let me know in the comments below. Are they a one and done? Jameson seems to agree the Eagles will lose in the first round. Jim Powell says, no way, they are a sleeping giant. Let me ask you this question. What indication gives you that they are a sleeping giant? Was it the 30-point loss to the 49ers? Was it the 20-point loss to the Cowboys? Was it the 3-point loss to the Seahawks? Was it the 4-point loss to the Cardinals? Like, at what point are they a sleeping giant? Not one game this season have they come out and said, bad baby, bad baby. Maybe to the Miami Dolphins. 31-17. I don't really remember exactly how that game went. I'll have to go back and watch it. But they have not gone out there and dominated Not one game this season. Now, they've had spurts where they have looked like the most dominant team in football. Second half for this versus the Kansas City Chiefs, but they were down 17-3 or 17-0. Come out in the second half, puts a shutout. Their offense looks lights out. Of course, that was at the time when the Kansas City Chiefs didn't score second half points for like 4 straight games. The Philadelphia Eagles are just not very good. Katie says, okay, man hour, that was a good game. Not a game what you're talking about, but all at week 17 was good. Caroline says, yes, this is what I've been waiting to talk about. This one, I think they will lose second or the third round. Eagles will of the playoffs. So Caroline basically says, no way. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to the NFC Championship again. Watch out, baby. Jameson says Dallas will lose in the second round. No, they won't. Caroline says, damn, I was nice then to the Eagles. Yeah, they're not making it far in the playoffs. So Caroline says they're going to the NFC Championships. Now she said not going to make far in the playoffs. Make up your mind, Caroline. Ant says, I can see the Rams taking the Eagles out. Their secondary isn't that good. Their secondary, as in the Eagles secondary, is terrible. Blankenship is terrible. Slay is the only guy resemblant of a starting secondary player in the Eagles, and I think he is out right now. He is hurt. James Bradbury, he's good for a holding, cost you the game. Blankenship is getting ran all over. Kevin Beard, what? The Eagles are missing a little bit of C.J. Gardner-Johnson this season. Let's just be honest. They are missing him, missing that swag. Hell, I forgot he's coming back for the Lions possibly this season. Jameson wants to talk about the Miami Dolphins. He says the Miami Dolphins might lose in the first round. Just way too many injuries. You are correct. Waddle has been hampered. Tyreek Hill still has that ankle injury, which he looks fine. Bradley Chubb is going to be out for the season. Apparently, he tore his ACL in garbage time versus the Ravens. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, pray to Allah, pray to Buddha, that the Miami Dolphins go out there and whoop the Buffalo Bills' ass. Because as a Chiefs fan, I don't want to play the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs. I don't. So come on, Steelers, come on, Jaguars, come on, Dolphins next week. But if the Miami Dolphins do make the playoffs, they would be playing a 7 seed, which would be the Steelers or possibly the Colts or the Texans. Who else can make the 7 seed? I think that's about it, right? I don't think the Miami Dolphins match up good to any of those teams, to be honest. Steelers defense is pretty good. Kenny Pickett could be back if the Steelers happen, but I don't think the Steelers make the playoffs. Houston Texans, if they make it, that's a team like what if, right? What if Tank Dell was still there? Unfortunately, if the Miami Dolphins do make the playoffs, I think they do got a kind of an easy game. So it would not surprise me if they lost in the first round. Sorry, Arthur. But it is. Jim says the Eagles played down to bad teams and average versus good teams. But the playoffs changes your mindset. And don't forget this is the NFL. To be in the playoffs and be called junk is like saying the Kansas City Chiefs have flair or flavor. Always shot at my Chiefs. Always got to talk down to my Kansas City Chiefs. Listen, I'm not saying any team in the playoffs this season is bad. The playoffs are literally wide open in anybody still. Now, we do expect the Ravens and the 49ers to basically make their way to the Super Bowl, both playing really, really good football. But beyond that, any given Sunday, right? the playoffs are wide open. So I'm not saying any team is junk. I'm just saying the Eagles don't have that killer instinct. I'm just saying that the Eagles are missing something. Missing something. Now let's talk about missing something. A team that is not missing something are the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens are not missing anything right now. They are clicking on all cylinders. Odell Beckham Jr. looking like the old Odell Beckham Jr. One hand behind the catch. You all see that catch? That man put his feet down, basically laid on his back and said, "Oop, my eyeball." Isaiah Likely sticks out that big old mitt, tutty. Zay Flowers with the little okey doke, right? Whoop, whoop, he gone. Lamar Jackson, MVP Lamar Jackson, call it now. Put some respect on that man's name. I am eating crow about my Lamar Jackson takes. Lamar Jackson is playing lights out this season. But way or no way, guys, is the Ravens season right now Super Bowl or bust? Meaning if they do not make the Super Bowl, they are the biggest bust of the NFL season. Right now, guys, the Ravens are sitting at 13-3, playing a pretty much a meaningless game for them going into Week 18 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I said this, Ant, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Thursday. I said it would be beneficial for the Ravens to lose the game versus the Miami Dolphins, so they have to play Week 18. Because what I was trying to say, and I didn't articulate that correctly, was they are going to have basically 2 weeks off. When they beat the Miami Dolphins, they, in a sense, have 2 weeks off now. If they play their starters versus the Pittsburgh Steelers and something happens, let's say something happens to Lamar Jackson versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think Harbaugh gets ran out of town. No question about it. John Harbaugh, get your ass out of here. Go to high school, right? So starters should not be playing against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then they obviously have a bye week as well. 2 weeks. Surface rust starts to happen. Like there is really no avoidable way around it. Yes, a week off is nice. A bye week is nice. Having a gimme Week 18 game is nice. But at the same time, how do you work through that rust? How do you not get stagnant, right? Because they're basically essentially going to be off for 3 whole weeks. 3 whole weeks without a game, basically what it comes down to. And then you have to, boom, turn it on versus a division rival versus the Cleveland Browns. So that I wanted to portray that in a little better light, right? That's why I say they need to lose. But way or no way is a Super Bowl or bust. Exactly. It is Super Bowl or bust. The Baltimore Ravens have been, do I dare say it, the best team in the NFL all season long. When the Detroit Lions came into town and they whooped that ass, not only did they whoop that ass, they sent them back crying with their tail between their legs. We all should have marked it right then and there. Baltimore Ravens are the team. I was trying to be a hater. I was trying to be like, hey, you know what? Maybe the Detroit Lions aren't that good. Yes, Lamar Jackson had a good game. Yes, the defense is playing well. But slow it down, baby, right? There's other teams. The Chiefs are still coming. You still have the Miami Dolphins clicking on all cylinders at that point. At that time, the Jacksonville Jaguars won like 4 or 5 games in like in a row. But the Baltimore Ravens guys are clicking on all cylinders. This is a way. This is 100% way. If the Baltimore Ravens do not make the Super Bowl this season, they will never make the Super Bowl. This is probably the best Baltimore Ravens team I have ever seen in my lifetime. Yes, in my lifetime, I have never seen a better Baltimore Ravens team. better than the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, better than the 2012 Baltimore Ravens. This is the best Baltimore teams ever. They have a great defense. They have a great offense. They have one of the best special team players in all of NFL, probably ever. If the Baltimore Ravens do not make the Super Bowl, guys, this is a bust of a season. 100%. This is a bust of a season. There is no question in my mind that if the Ravens do not make it to the Super Bowl, Harbaugh's probably out. Can we say it? If the Baltimore Ravens lose their first playoff game, I think Harbaugh is gone. Is that a hot take? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like people have been trying to run Harbaugh out of town for a very, very long time. And if you do not make the Super Bowl, that is the ammunition that they need, especially if you're a first-round playoff exit. Jameson says, hell yeah, Super Bowl or bust. Is that even a question? Hell yeah. But then Jameson also says Ravens could potentially choke in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson is 1-3 in the playoffs. This has been my biggest knock about Lamar Jackson since he stepped foot on the NFL field. Hell, even in college. The man is a great quarterback from September till mid-December. Christmas Day on, this man is a below-average quarterback. Do the Ravens choke? And if they do choke, do you blame it on Lamar Jackson? I mean, obviously, hindsight's 2020. We would assume Lamar Jackson would be playing at a decent level, and the defense just shits the bed, right? But it all comes back on Lamar Jackson, in the end. Ant says, yes, it is definitely Super Bowl or bust for my Ravens, man. If Lamar folds in the playoffs, I will be highly disappointed. Like you said, the only team that can beat the Ravens is the Ravens themselves. Yes, it's spot on. Jim said, I thought CMC was MVP, but nobody is packing a team like Lamar. This is the one thing about the NFL, right? We are very prisoner of the moment, right? Let's flash back 5 weeks ago. Dak Prescott MVP. They go into Buffalo, shits the bed, right? Who was next up? Brock Purdy was up next. Brock Purdy MVP. Baltimore comes in the bed, shits the bed. Tua's MVP. Tua goes into Baltimore. He doesn't play bad, but they shit the bed. Now it's Lamar Jackson MVP. Lamar Jackson is the MVP. Now, CMC is definitely the most valuable player for his team. I think if you put CMC on any other team, he definitely instantly makes that other team better. Don't get that twisted. But without Lamar Jackson this season, are the Baltimore Ravens a 6-win team? Are they a 7-win team? They're definitely not 13, definitely not 10, definitely not playoff a contending team. Without CMC, I think the 49ers would have been able to navigate to at least a division championship. They may not have been they're 12-4, aren't they? I mean, they still would have been good, but not as dominant, I don't think. Jim says a Ravens team without Suggs or Lewis will never be the best Ravens team. I don't know, man. This Baltimore Ravens defense right now, granted, they aren't pitching shutouts the way they did in 2000, but the game is different. If the game was played back in 2000s, obviously that 2000 Ravens team would probably beat this year's Ravens team hands down. But if we're to play now, this year's Ravens team would beat that 2000 Ravens team. So that is definitely a conversation that we can have at some point. And Ant says without CMC, they don't even score half of their points. Let's talk about the MVP just a little bit here. The 49ers are a very system-oriented team, right? When you look at Kyle Shanahan's track record, let's follow his dad back to Denver. Terrell Davis, Hall of Famer. You can't get that away from him. But he had a 2,000-yard season, right? Great. The next running back after Terrell Davis went down, am I saying his name right? Davis, TD. The next running back had just the same success, right? Now, I'm not taking away anything from CMC. CMC's a very, very great guy. But you put any other running back into that system, they have success. Tony Pollard will have success in that system. Zeke Elliott will have success in that system. If you take Lamar Jackson away from the Baltimore Ravens are a shell of themselves. Defense is still good. Don't get that twisted. But the defense would not be playing as well as they are, right? It is all about momentum. You do good, I do good. We do good, we all do good, right? If the offense stumbles a little bit, the defense is like, man, we got to play a little bit better. Start playing out of their minds, and then it's just a snowball effect. It is what it is. But guys, that is going to be it for today's show. Thank you guys all for joining me today here on Man Hour Live, 10 a.m. East Coast time. We're live every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. East Coast time. Might be a time change coming soon, but hopefully we make it to the end of the NFL season before that time change happens. It is what it is. Sometimes you got to go with life. But guys, Michael Buckheister, live, raw, uncut NFL talk. See you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. East Coast time. We out.